Now that Saturn is direct, I'm headed straight into my Saturn return. And I've listened to other people's stories about going through Saturn returns and just kind of like what they've experienced or kind of what they did before Saturn return that made sense to them after their Saturn return. Saturn hasn't been direct for that long, okay? It's been what, like half a month, couple weeks now? So we got a little bit of time. Plus Neptune, which is where Saturn is right now in Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune, is not direct yet. So we still have some like backwards movement within Pisces spaces, just generally speaking. But regardless of that, I've clocked myself already preparing. Tell me why over the previous 2 weeks, spontaneously my body was like, I can't drink caffeine anymore. I'm sober off of coffee for the first time and I don't really even know how long. I can't even have caffeine that is like not coffee. Sometimes in previous eras where I've been getting off of caffeine, I've been able to have like caffeinated tea. Can't do it. My body just doesn't want it. So there's that. I'm going back to being like strictly plant-based vegan, which I have not done in a very long time. My body is clearing out space, getting my foundation. And today, spontaneously, not planned, did not think it was gonna happen. I went up to the metaphysical store where I live, okay? Didn't know what I was gonna get there. Whenever I end up going there, it's just like, I just feel called, like I need to go, okay? And I just go because it always helps me if I have that call put on me. So I ended up there today. I got a whole bunch of stuff, way more than I thought I was going to. Preparation, fantastic. And I'm pretty good at intuitively just being like, there's still something else here. There's still something else. Or intuitively being like, okay, I don't need anything else. I'm done. That's it. So I have my basket full, but I still find myself, I'm like, I'm not done. I know that I'm not finished yet. So I'm walking around looking at the jewelry because my pieces mean a lot to me. It's like a really big magical practice for me, jewelry is. Tell me why. I find a new piece of moldavite, okay? I find a moldavite ring in the top shelf. I was minding my business. I was looking at the other rings and I look up and my eye catches it and immediately I get like this close to it. Nobody was behind the counter, but the minute that I started looking at the moldavite ring, one of the like clerk attendant people walked over and was like, "Do you want to see anything?" I was like, "Of course, this is great timing. So yes, please, thank you. I'd like to." And of course it fit perfectly. It fit my finger exactly the way that I needed it to. Oh my goodness. I've worked with moldavite multiple different times in my life, and every single time crazy things have happened. Not ever have I worked with 2 at a time though, because I have another one currently for a very specific purpose. Apparently, my spirit isn't done. Apparently, I need another one. Don't mind the cat scratches. That's the ring. It's so pretty. Can you see it? It's so pretty. Look at how pretty it is. Look at how pretty it is. Look at all. It's so pretty. Chat, I have a feeling after Neptune goes direct, it's go time for me. I feel like up until, because it goes direct December 7th, and then Saturn is like direct. Saturn's already direct, but the ruler of Saturn, it's in Pisces, so Neptune, right? Not being direct. We still have this like intermediary position, space, but I work with Saturn order energy enough to know that this is like me getting things together, detoxing my body, caffeine sober, which is really the only like substance that I do or did currently, recently, whatever, in my life. Did not used to be that way, okay? But every time I get really sober, and I mean, I'm not eating sugar, I'm only eating plants, no caffeine, no extra nothing. Anytime I do that, crazy change happens. And on top of that, Moldavite, what is this Saturn return? Like, I know that this is preparation for something. Saturn rules my Pluto. I'm a Scorpio. My Pluto and Scorpio are Saturn ruled. And then Scorpio rules my Saturn. It's just this big circle in my chart. There's some other placements and other stuff that's involved with it, but what the heck? So I know, because I know myself, that I'm currently getting it together. I got places to be. I don't know where I'm going in precision or exactly. I kind of know, but I still kind of blind. And that was another thing. When I picked up that ring today, I was like, I was thinking about it on the drive home, and I was like, I know, because I've gotten pieces of jewelry or like pendants before where I've got it because I only wanted it. It wasn't for like any other purpose than just I wanted it. And there was no like feeling of magic behind it. It was just me wanting it. So I got it for myself. And I really checked in with myself and I was like, that's not it. This is I don't know why I got this, but I'm gonna need it. Like, I know I'm gonna need it. I know that I'm not cooked, but I'm also thinking to myself, how interesting is this Saturn return really gonna be? I've prepared mentally, physically. I feel like I've been looking, it's like a marathon. That's how I'm looking at this Saturn return. It's like a marathon, right? It takes a couple years. It's a while. And really you're like birthing a new version of yourself. The Saturn return starts when Saturn is at the same position in the sky that it was when you were conceived. That's literally when astrologers, oh my God, how many times am I going to stutter on it? When astrologers talk about 10 degrees before your Saturn placement, that's when the Saturn degree starts. That's where Saturn was. Saturn's 10 degrees away, generally around the time of conception. Crazy. So you're literally like drawing a loop of closure around conceiving a new life for yourself and birthing a new life for yourself. But think about mother magic and like birthing magic. You are blind to that child and most of the parts of the pregnancy till the kid arrives. Granted, now we have like advanced technology and modern technology that lets us know a lot of the stuff that's going on, or just like things that could be difficult to handle or deal with, or any complications and things like that. But all the stuff that happens during a pregnancy is compounded and changes then the birth that happens. How the mother nurtures that to be kid changes the kid. So the Saturn return is literally just you like birthing a new version of yourself, but from a fatherly perspective also, because Saturn is the father. Sometimes being so aware of things and having no answer on a personal level. Anyways, how is everybody else doing with Saturn direct? I'm feeling pretty good about it, honestly. Anybody else headed into their Saturn return now that Saturn is gone direct? Anybody a Saturn in Aries baby? Me too. Me too. And Saturn in Aries is a Saturn that's ruled by war. If you're still here and you do have a Saturn in Aries, there's a Mars retrograde that starts December 6th. I think it's February 24th, I think. I don't have my calendar right in front of me, but sometime in February it goes direct. Use that retrograde to your advantage. Stay within your boundaries. Don't do anything extra. Keep yourself disciplined. Keep yourself restrained as you need to. Restricted as Saturn would ask. Because like, yeah, Saturn is direct, but if your Saturn is in Aries, it's ruled by Mars, and Mars is about to go through a retrograde. So like we still have time of reconsideration before it's like super direct for that specific group of people. If that applies to you and you're still here, be super serious with yourself about where Mars is in your chart and where Saturn is in your chart and how those are connected and how they're aspecting each other, and any other planets or like placements that could be involved with them. Keep your boundaries and your time management. Let me remind myself too. Yeah. Anyways, gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep doing what you need to do. Keep up your brew. That's true. And if you're still here and you're not Saturn in Aries, if you've been through your Saturn return, do you have advice for anyone who has been through a Saturn or hasn't been through a Saturn return? You know those videos where it's like, I'm in my 30s and this is advice for people who are under 25 or that sort of thing? Do you have any words of wisdom? I feel pretty prepared. I feel pretty prepared. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't feel scared about it. I just, like, it's a marathon, right? I feel like I've taken the training over the previous several years for that marathon very seriously. Thumbs up, good job. Pat on the back, but I still have to run the race. So let me get my running shoes on. You know what? Let me go get changed. Let me get my dress on the way I need to. You know, let me make sure I got some water and some snacks. Magic is crazy. That was my personal update. I'm gonna have some other astrology updates that are not personal coming up here in the next videos. So I'll talk to you then. Thanks for listening.